Hello. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Today is day 49 of the 75-day Spirit Baby Devotional, and I am Jezreel. I am the Spirit Baby Auntie. I am a sacred birth worker, spirit baby medium, and advocate. I am a full spectrum doula, and I am located in the Atlanta area. So if you yourself are looking for a doula and you are in Atlanta, the South Fulton area, East Point, even Clayco, my discovery call box is right in the description box below. I also have a free ebook out called Held While You Bloom. It is for pregnant mamas who would like to slow down, reflect, and be with themselves, really understand what it means to be held while they're in the process of blooming as mother. And it's not anything I assume you don't know already. It's definitely more as confirmation and more as a reminder and just the space. So if you want your copy, click the link in my bio and, well, in the description box. That's what you say, right? It's in the description box. And lastly, you can join our tribe over at the Spirit Baby Connect on Facebook. It is a community, and I would love to have you there so we can continue to grow. And you can share your stories about how your spirit baby has communicating with you, or how your spirit baby communicated with you before you got pregnant and the way that showed up for you. And yeah. Today has been beautiful. I also had this like hungover kind of feeling. Yesterday was a big share for me. In the episode day 48, I talked about being a woman who bleeds. And that was big for me as a woman in general. There are so many past lives of mine where I was a woman who was crucified for being someone who bleeds, for being somebody with a voice, for being somebody who dares to speak up and share themselves. And I felt that. I felt the bigness of that, the expansion feeling of that today. So, and I'm really grateful to be here now because I do feel better. I ate me a good food. I had some sushi. I had a good big salad. I had some watermelon. I had a lot of good food today, and it felt so good. I got my tea with me right now. Yeah. I think my husband is done cutting grass. If you go back and listen to some of the episodes where I'm in the car, you hear the lawnmower, and I just think it's something so just nice about being in this space and knowing my man's out there just using his muscles. No, for real. It's just been a few times where it's just like, oh, there he is. Mowing our lawn, cutting the weeds, helping maintain our grass, loving on the earth that we steward. It's really beautiful, actually. But yeah. Hi, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Just take a moment. Be with yourself and really just be with, how are you feeling today? Like, how are you feeling today? How did you wake up today? Did you have a dream last night? Was it a good dream? Was it a vivid dream? Do you remember all the details? I recently started writing my dreams down so much, and part of me, especially the part of me that loved to smoke, is just like, I'm actually like amazed at how many dreams I have and how like vivid they are. And the part of me who was just like, yeah, girl, told you stop smoking, told you there was something on the other side. There was a version of you that you hadn't met yet on the other side. And I was like, you're right. And it was scary. However, on this side of the journey of dreaming, because that's a big catalyst as to why I stopped smoking. Like, I wasn't having dreams, and I'm a very clairvoyant person, and it had got to a point in just my journey of just like, it feels like I'm missing something here, like I'm missing something right here. And my dreams, it feels like I've been retrieving parts of my soul in that. So if you have experience with that, I would love to hear about it. Please comment. Please comment. Please tell me your story. Please tell me your journey. If you don't want to comment, you know, you can email me. Yeah, and you can DM me on Instagram. I am on Instagram at the Spirit Baby Auntie. Yeah. I would love to hear about your dreams, and just, yeah, there's something really magical about the way our subconscious travels. And I see it so many different ways. It's the way our subconscious is, the way we astrally travel. There are parts of ourselves that our soul is retrieving when we sleep, especially when we're getting deep, good sleep. I get a lot of visions from my past lives and my dreams, and that is something that feels very raw for me, especially because I had so many moments of talking to my husband about how it feels like I'm running away from my dreams in some kind of way. And eventually he was just like, so why the hell would you want to do that? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I really don't know. So my husband has been one of my biggest supporters in my journey of coming back home to myself. Yeah. And it's a big journey to come home to oneself after never feeling like I've been home in myself, feeling as though I've always been in search of home in myself. This is a lot of cards, Spirit. They told me to shuffle these too. But maybe it tells a story. Let's see. I have ovulation, auntie, closing of the bones. I'm gonna take these orange and this white and this pink and white, and I'm gonna put these three away. And then I have oxytocin, pregnancy, epigenetics, and synchronicities. And then I just heard, girl, you might as well go ahead and look at some other ones. And you're right. Rose, parsley, and where you focus, energy flows. That's like a whole story. That is a whole story. So I have two herbs here. I have rose and I have parsley. And we just went to Ace Hardware, and my husband asked me if we had parsley. And we do have some growing. We originally had some growing right here in the sanctuary. But when I took it outside, I think I took it out too soon, or I didn't move it into like some really good soil, and it eventually died. But we have some more seeds growing. So I might actually start some more seeds or direct sow some in the new beds that we have. And rose, I don't have that notebook in here, huh? Rose is one of the herbs that I was told more about last week. I just looked at the clock and it said 9:09, so maybe 9:09 is significant for you. But I went to a herb workshop at OU Botanicals off Washington Road. And they were talking about the herb rose. And, you know, it's Mother's Day is coming up, so get some roses for your mama. Or get some roses for yourself. Or maybe you need to get yourself a rose bush. Go and plant yourself a rose bush. But, I think I'm gonna start adding rose to my tea this week too. But she was telling us about it being a heart opening herb, a heart opening and soothing to the heart. Makes me think of self-love, makes me think of um, just romanticizing your relationship with yourself. And that even brings me to oxytocin. I think rose and oxytocin go so good together. Um, and ovulation, because if you're trying to get pregnant, you need to make sure you're feeling loved on. The same love that you receive to make that baby is what you need to be tapped into when you're trying to get that baby out too. That's a big one. And just sounds like sweetening up your love life, sweetening up the way that you love on yourself. And when I think of epigenetics, it makes me think of how kind of hard it is for some people to lean into love and lean into oxytocin, because you could be oxytocin deprived from just the way you live, the way you grew up, the way the people around you had a relationship with love. And now it got me thinking, like, maybe you were born and your mom had Pitocin and all her oxytocin receptors got overworked by the artificial oxytocin, and it changed everything, because oxytocin is a hormone that travels with you while you're in labor, and it's also one that travels with you while you're breastfeeding. And that love is also a big aspect. I feel like I need to close the window, but this incense is so strong. I think I've had enough of the incense. Yeah. Okay. Let me. First, I'm gonna put the incense out, and the incense that I have right now is Lang Lang. I'm actually not familiar with the properties. I know it's a woman hormone, woman scent essential oil, and I know it's good for pregnant women. I can't think of why right now. Let me close the window. But yeah, so oxytocin is good for both mama and the baby, especially when mom's breastfeeding. I don't know if you've ever heard of how when a baby is breastfeeding, they'll sometimes, while they're nursing on one boob, they'll also like fondle and mess with the other nipple, like just rub, pinch, and just like do things to the other nipple to help stimulate oxytocin. So it can also help with their letdown and for them to receive more milk. And I feel like the more loved a woman feels while breastfeeding, the more at ease she feels with how soulfully demanding it is to be at a kid's every beck and call. Yeah. I didn't even see what this green one was. Faith of a mustard seed. Closing of the bones. Pregnancy. If you are unfamiliar with what a closing of the bones, what it is a ceremony that is performed after a woman has given birth, where she is wrapped from her legs all the way up to her crown in a rebozo and kind of snug, and it helps close a woman's just body, close her hips, close her soul, like, because you have an aura, and it helps close that as well, because when you have a baby, you're opening yourself up to the spirit realm. You're opening yourself up to the threshold that is, like, you know, your ancestors, all the people that are coming into the world, to spirit, to a different space in general. So after you have a baby, you are open. You have opened up and you have birthed a new soul. And the closing of the bones is a really sacred ceremony. You can have it done with a trained practitioner. You can also have it done with the people around you and your family. Y'all set the right intention. I believe that any ceremony can be done with the right intention. And yeah, that's my personal belief. And I have had training in the closing of the bone ceremony. I've had one done on myself from a trained professional practitioner. So that's my opinion. Yeah. Synchronicities, things that you notice, things that are like some spirit baby synchronicities that a couple of my sisters and I are really present in are like, mine was a pink butterfly. And whenever I saw a pink butterfly, I just understood that my spirit baby was saying, "Hey, mommy, all things are great. You're doing good. You're on the right path. Yay, you." Or like 222, 999, like I said, just repeating numbers. And that also goes into the faith of a mustard seed, because it's a conversation between you, the patterns that you recognize and how they make your soul feel. And you only need a little bit of belief. And where your attention goes, where your focus goes, energy flows there. So if you are seeing the synchronicities and you are allowing yourself to have faith in what they mean to you, you have a lot of energy seeds planted over there. Genuinely, you are pregnant with possibility when you allow yourself to believe. That just is. That just is. That just is. That just is. I love that so much. I love that so much. And before I close out, I suppose I just want to talk more about being the spirit baby auntie. Because chances are this is your first time meeting me. And I say that because I've had such a journey with calling myself a doula, feeling like I'm just not cool enough to call myself a doula, or not trained enough to call myself a doula, whereas I've taken a donor certified course. I took their course. I did not get certified with that establishment. I took a course by somebody who is with DONA. And then I took a year-long international mentorship program with a midwife who poured all of her knowledge, all of her wisdom into this course to be with women who see birth as sacred. And that spoke to me. And when I was in the process of just being with self, I was like, at the end of the day, I am stepping in to be as your sister. That is my role as a doula. That is my role as I'm stepping into the role of a lay mom with the Clayton County Public Health Department. That is my role. I am your sister, and that means as your sister, what is a sister to the baby? An auntie. And while a woman is pregnant, that is a very spiritual, sacred, and in-between phase. When the baby is in the womb, they are in the in-between phase of life. And what isn't? Of death. That is. And I feel like that's a very heavy thing to say, but when it comes to what I know babies to be, they're a mixture of something old and something new. I know that there are parts of my ancestors who have passed on, who have walked earth and have transitioned to the spirit realm, that are also embodied in the DNA of that baby. I know that they are constantly multiplying in cells. They're constantly just, speaking to me, pouring into me as a woman who's carrying life, the new air, the new person who's gonna walk and change the world. The next, like a descendant of our lineage. That's a very, very special, sacred, and spiritual experience. And I believe that a lot of the adverse effects that we see in the world with birth and with women after birth is the lack of acknowledging spirit. I believe that a hospital birth can go great. I really do believe hospital births can go great. However, when the ones don't go great, and that it is just based on obstetric violence and just an overt use of medical, it's because they have replaced their God, replaced their faith with fear and dependence on everything they've learned in medical school, and they forget how sacred birth is. They forget the soul of birth. They forget that birth is a rite of passage. They forget that it's a very ancestral and ceremonial act, that it's a birth ritual. So much so that everybody blows out candles every year for their birthday. Now, if you don't do it, then you're an exception, but it is a widely known thing to sing a particular song over a cake in front of all of these people. What does that represent? It's a ritual. And what is it a ritual of? This singular experience. The day that you and your mama did that one particular dance and you came into the world. Every year y'all celebrate it. It's really special and it really matters. And yeah, so that's like the gist of that. I am the Spirit Baby Auntie, and I own that. I have been hearing Spirit Babies communicate to me. I feel the presence of Spirit Babies when I'm with other women. I can see a woman who is infatuated with their Spirit Baby, and I can pinpoint how that baby is communicating with her. Because I'm tuned in. And for a while, I thought it was just me being hyper obsessed with wanting another baby. And then when it came down to me really accepting that my baby will come into my orbit, my field, and my physical reality when I am ready, we are in understanding that everything I was hearing wasn't just mine. The babies communicating with me and saying, hey, I'm ready to be born, were not just mine. And that's how doula work found me. Truly. Now, doula work also found me in being a literal sister. I was a sister first. Like, that just is. I remember when my big sister had a baby, I was at her house scrubbing baseboards, washing her dishes, getting everything together. Like, I was doing the damn thing because of just being a sister. Just being a sister, because I have a passion for it. Genuinely, I love loving on my sisters. I love it so much. I love empowering women. I love watching a woman stand in her power. I love when a woman feels so powerful in birthing her baby and steps into motherhood feeling like I am that motherfucking woman. Like, I am her. I am the baby's mama. I'm the mama. I love that. Because there's so much power in that. And there is so much that that woman alone has to walk across and achieve in order to walk that walk. To birth her baby. That is something that only she can do. And for a woman to feel so empowered in herself to do it is huge. It really is. And yeah, that's all I have today. Oh wait, I'm gonna pull Oracle from Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle. I'm only gonna pull one. I'm only gonna pull one. I'm only gonna pull one. Yes, I am only gonna pull one. One. Here we go. Came right out. Sword, make the change. And we're gonna read it. We're gonna read what the book has to say about the sword. 7, 7, 7. Let's go. All right, it says, there is a big life change you've been thinking of making for a while now. This is a sign that you need to trust your instincts and take the leap. Whether you're thinking about cutting your hair or finding a job better suited for you, do the thing and do it with confidence. I just heard, if you are considering like, dang, I don't want to birth in the hospital. I think I want to have a home birth. Or dang, I don't feel like this physician and I really match, and I feel like I might be too far along. Change them. I've been really thinking about doing this with my hair, but my mama said, change your hair. I've been really considering doing something that my auntie, my mama, my sister, none of them deal with their babies, and I don't want to educate them while walking the walk. You are the mama. You make the choices. You make the decisions. Your spirit baby is journeying with you, and chances are when you get those inklings to do something different, that is what that baby is calling for you to do. You can trust it. Have faith. That's it.